Well, hi there and welcome along to What's the Word in association with Ladbrokes. I'm Tom Malone, joined this week by Declan Martin from our sponsor Ladbrokes. How are you, Declan?
Good.
Good to have you back.
Yeah, after the national.
Good stuff. Mark is back as well.
How you doing?
Are you well?
Happy out.
And Brian too.
Yeah, feeling good, yeah.
Had a good week? Tough going?
Yeah, to be honest, I was over in London for Fleetwood Mac, so I wasn't really in tune for the first half of the week. Yeah, so yeah. But
you're as out of tune as they're singing at the end of the day at Ascot, eh?
Yeah, we're getting back on song though now for the end of the week.
Are you done?
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's enough for the week.
Highlight of the week so far for you, Mark?
Sure, yesterday was magic, and I wouldn't, nothing against them, but I wouldn't even be Frankie's biggest fan. But I found myself there in the final furlong, absolutely out of your chair. You couldn't, but when you were going for the fifth, it's just something magic, isn't it? It was great to be experiencing it. You know, the sixth would have been a huge push. It was never going to happen, but my God, it was great excitement. It brought the whole place to life after a damp.
It kind of begs the question: what's horse racing going to do in the post Frankie Dettori era, isn't it?
Well, he'll still be there. I mean, I can remember growing up and watching him on A Question of Sport. I mean, he's still an effervescent character. He'll be on all those media programs and outlets. He's still going to be there for racing and plugging it, and he's just brilliant. We are lucky to have him still riding.
Good stuff. Let's move on to the first of the Group 1s then on Saturday. We'll start with the Diamond Jubilee. Declan, take us through some of the betting for this.
So Blue Point 9-4 favourite at the moment, looking for second of the week. Invincible Armies at 4s, City Light 7s, Celebrity Valor then at 10s, the Tin Man 10s, and 12-1 a bigger the rest.
Mark, Blue Point going to do a Schwazier?
Well, it's actually funny because when I was only just in the very early stage of my racing life...
Don't tell us what age you were when Schwazier, please don't.
It was one of the things that got me very excited at the time with flat racing. I think it's great that
Could
he's
you
going to try and do it.
I'm joking.
No, but like I think really this is a shot at nothing really for Godolphin. Stallion point of view, why not have a crack at this? And it does look pretty winnable. Now, for me, at the prices, I'd rather have a crack at something at a bigger price. I'm not even too keen on Invincible Army, but I'm willing to give an Ascot lover a chance here. I think projection has a good each way chance. There's some 40-1 about him out there. He loves the track. He didn't like the ground first time out this season, but he's a really classy horse. Now, I'd say he's a bit of a devil. There might be a bit of rogue in him.
No harm in the sprinter.
In this sort of race where they go a million in front, he was only beaten a couple of lengths in it last year. Just see him running a big race and hitting the frame. Roger Charlton hasn't had a run at Ascot this week. He'll have won the Jersey, but he's operating a 21% strike rate for the last 2 weeks. So, you know, he's sparing what he's running, but I think this one could run a big run of 40s. What do
you reckon, Declan? Do you think Blue Point can do it?
I'm leaning, I think it will. I think it probably will. But again, looking for some value in behind that. It's actually one that was behind Blue Point back in 2017, bound for nowhere. I think he's got a really good each way chance, and this generally runs well on the course, and he's run well in this contest the last 2 times he's had a go. So I think each way is probably the value pick.
No love for Blue Point?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be his fan. I think he's obviously got a huge chance, but a 2-1, I wouldn't be getting stuck in at that.
4 days after a hard race.
Exactly. Obviously, we saw some of these Australian sprinters trying to do down through the years, not so much the Don thing. Obviously, I think you're just getting a bigger price on Invincible Army here. I think that he looks a different horse this year.
Can't see past him.
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely magnificent the last day over in the Group 2. He's won over the course and distance. I'd be a big fan of his, but
and he's on soft ground.
Yeah, there is one horse now that I really have a big fan.
That's one of the things about sprinters, though, isn't it? Like you know, in the flat, the criticism is that we don't get to attach ourselves to these horses because they're gone by the time they're 3. But sprinters,
I have a big attachment to this. The Tin Man. I know he's 7 now, but he definitely needed a run at Windsor, blow away the cobwebs. Yeah. If it is that little bit on the soft side, he could definitely see him running well, and I think he's 12-1 now. You're probably going to get a much bigger price on the day, given all the hoo-ha about Blue Point and the other ones turning out. So I'm not entirely sure which one I'd be leaning towards, but at the moment I'll probably put my hat on the Tin Man for now. It's
intriguing how much kind of public persona or these seem to drive betting markets over the course of the week. Like after Frankie won, the sprint, Turgenev was as short as 2-1 in places. Like it was just
so. That would be probably it.
Ludicrous. Yeah, it's great. It is nuts. It's been an intriguing week, even from that kind of betting point of view.
Yeah, strangely enough, Stradivarius actually drifted a little bit after that as well, which I thought was bizarre, given he'd had the first 3.
I think it was probably just on course. Yeah. Like the on course layers had to take him on, and the firm's kind of driving him off course. But yeah, the firm's had him 8 to 11.
Yeah,
generally just before the race.
Even taking into Frankie's brilliant day yesterday and all this, but. How many winning favourites has there been? 1 or 2?
2.
Yeah,
2.
So, I mean, hasn't been that bad for the bookies, has it?
No, yeah, exactly. We won't break out the tissues just yet. Anyway, let's move on to the Jersey Stakes. We started that one at 305. Obviously, a few of these dropping back in trip, a couple dropping in class as well. How do they bet, Declan?
11-4 Space Blues, So Perfect at 6s, 7-1 Happy Power, 8-1 Urban Icon, and Momkin Angels Hideaways at 10s, and 12s are bigger than the rest.
A lot of horses kind of fall between two stools into this race, Mark. What do you make of it?
Yeah, it's funny. Like I think in general, like Aidan has had success in this race at a price previously. And I'm not saying he's going to win, but I think Western Frontier, he's a step up big time. But he's by Scat Daddy, he's drawn on the high side of things. And Ishvana won this at a big price. Spirit of Valor went very close before. I wouldn't rule out that angle of Aidan possibly having one at a bigger price, but So Perfect probably screams to be the ideal one here. I think she's perfect for it, and pardon the pun, Space Blue is the big danger, but no, she'll take all the beating for me.
Yeah, what do you make of it, Brian?
I really struggled with this one, but one horse that I did kind of latch on when he was a 2-year-old was Urban Icon. I thought that he could run well in the Guineas. He only ended up in 8th in the Guineas. Now, he was obviously a big price that day, but this is back to more his level. He was held by Space Blues the last day at Epsom, but he actually never really looked that comfortable at Epsom. So I think more galloping track like Ascot should suit him better. Look, he's going to be a bit of a price, maybe 8-1 each way selection, and obviously the Hannons won this with strong super.
Yeah, you have a selection here, Declan?
Well, just one to note off the back of that was third just behind Urban Icon last time, was one at a big price for Frankie Murray's Diamond, which I thought was interesting given that she was a Group 3 winner as a 2-year-old. Apart from that, I don't like too many of these. Maybe Bar Happy Power towards the top of the betting, step up in class for him, but give him a reasonable chance.
Murray's Diamond, like Andrea Taney.
Yeah.
Boy with a girl's name. Right, Momkin's my selection, by the way, in that race. But the other Group 2 in the card is fascinating. The Hardwick at 340. Mazar, how do we assess Mazar here coming off the back? It hasn't been seen since the Derby of last year. Apparently is taking the lesser option, which on the back of it looks like it wasn't a bad idea. But what do you make of his chances?
That could be a sign in itself, couldn't it? I'd be keen to look elsewhere. If you believe the Defoe form, 4 or 5-1 about him could be very good, but I don't know whether I believe that run, the Coronation win. I'd be looking at Sir Michael Stout's record. He's won 6 of the last 9 in this.
He loves this race.
Yeah, and Mirage Dancer, he's always been a horse that, he's one of these kind of horses where it has the reputation, hasn't really fulfilled it yet, but it was interesting to see Pat Dobbs' comments after he won the race at Goodwood on his return, saying that he's just much more powerful this year. He's just a typical horse of Sir Michael Stout's coming along. He's more relaxed. He doesn't sweat up as much as he used to. I'd be keen, just with the whole record. On form, you'd struggle to weigh in too heavily on him, but just with the whole Stouty factor, you'd have to.
Yeah, you can almost see the post-race interview already, can't you? Mark, what do you make of this?
Yeah, I like everything about Southern France Bar's price. I know there's been some question marks about him dropping back in trip, but I didn't think he got home in the Ledger. And I just think now here he ticks an awful lot of boxes. He's second in the Queen's Vase last year, so course form, tick that box. Pushed Stradivarius very close at York. He's gone in frank to form since. I like everything about him bar the price. I think Salouin and
dislike the fact he hasn't won his last 6?
The circumstances go against them, but I don't think this is the strongest group. I think they all have questions to answer. You look at Massar has a huge absence to overcome. You look at Defoe, I think it was a watery sort of an effort last, and he got the best out of an ordinary scenario. And I think Lati Dar she just confuses me completely. I don't know what trip she wants.
I don't see how you could possibly.
I don't see her as a prospect here. So I think he communicate and Salouin will go hard. Southern France will stay, and I think he'll come home strong. I think he can do it, but I'd like better price about him.
Yeah, you look like you're chiming there.
I'd be more just leaning towards Massard of just finding so many faults with the rest. Salouin would be one with a reasonable chance if the rest are as bad as we think.
Yeah, that's a fair enough assessment. We could just be looking back at this and just going, why didn't you just tip up the Derby winner in the Hardwick? But that's a fair enough assessment. Look, the Wokium is as tricky as it gets at 5 o'clock. How do you bet for this one?
Cape Byron at 8-1 on top of the betting, then 11-1 for Danzino and Perfection, 12-1 Foxtrot Lady. You've got Gunmetal at 12s as well, and then 16-1 bar those.
Go on.
I actually like one here.
Yeah?
Spring Loaded.
I like Spring Loaded
as well.
Okay.
He's run well in this race before.
Fools seldom differ.
A course winner. And I think what's really interesting about him is this Dylan Hogan.
Yeah.
Anyone who follows Dundalk, I know you probably well know.
He
know
is
all
such
about-
a good rider.
Such
like,
a good rider, and he's done well since he's gone to Britain. I think he's a name that we're going to hear plenty more of, and I'd love to see. He's a lovely young lad. He was with Kevin Prendergast for a few years. I think he's got a chance at the big time here.
I mean, the thing, if you were an English trainer, you would even advise to an English trainer where to source apprentices from. You'd probably say either go to Jim Bulger or Kevin Prendergast, and you'll end up with a good rider. But he's definitely
he's
of that.
dynamite.
Yeah,
Jet,
I do like Springloader as well. What about you, Mark?
Hey, Jonesy was the one that jumped out initially to me just on the Commonwealth Cup run last year. He's ran behind Invincible Army. He's your typical kind of group horse going back to handicap company. It's a rare run in the sphere for him. Drawn 18 as well. I just think 20s is a bit big about him. The only other one that I think, I was looking at this, the pace looks to be high here, or to be low I should say, all down the single figures. And I think Cenotaph is one that will love coming off a strong pace. Ryan Moore, Jeremy Nacida could just see it finishing off strongly here if they burn themselves out in front. Just an each about 20s.
Good stuff. Elsewhere on the Saturday card, Ulster Derby at Down Royal. Do you have some benefit of that?
I do. We've got it tissued up at the moment because it shouldn't cut up too badly, I wouldn't have thought. 11-4, a Wave of the Sea, 130 for future investment. King's Vow will be about 5s, 8-1 for Dazoo's Dart, 10-1 Xander, 12-1 Halimi, and 14's Bar.
Daddy's Art brings a little bit of technically Royal Ascot form to the table, would you?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can see the point, but I was just kind of taking it away to see. I've been on the track both days he's won. Just a big galloper, lovely attitude. He looked beaten at Sligo on just a second start, his first on turf. When I think the Halford horse, I can't remember, Agacan horse ranged up beside him, but for a Born to See, he battled well. I mean, he wouldn't be
renowned.
Yes, let's put it that way. And Down Royal, just like a horse that wanted even further. So, I mean, a Wave of the Sea, he looks like a progressive handicapper. And sure, Joseph O'Brien and Shane Cross, they can do no wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you, Mark?
Yeah, King's Vow is the one for me. Joseph's look at Wave of the Sea, I'd highly respected, and I think Shane Cross obviously has ridden his 3 starts, so I wouldn't be reading too much into jockey bookings here. But I think up £11 for Leopard Sound Run, but just left me very, very much a visual impression. I thought he could possibly one that could hit the frame in a Royal Ascot handicap if he was to turn up there and get into one of them. But look, I think he barred the draw, and it's a concern for Wave of the Sea, and they're in 10 and 11, the two of them. But I think he has the potential to go on to better things, guaranteed to stay King's Vow.
Elsewhere on Saturday?
I've won, yes.
You have one.
I have one.
Stuff.
Where's my notes? It's Peter Fahey's horse, Canford Art.
Yeah.
Won the last day and got £5 for it, but Kevin Manning was aboard that day, and Ben Cohen basically negates that £5 by taking the ride. And I think that she looked all speed in her early days, but she's getting the 6 furlongs fine now, and I think she will win. And that is in the
250.
The 250, you're dead right. Down Royal.
Yeah, go on, Mark.
Yeah,
you go
same
as
as
well.
Down Royal, 445. Like Misty Millie, bit of soft spot for her over hurdles as well. I think she's 107.55 in the flat. Grand run at Roscommon last time. Big fan of Donogh O'Connor as a rider. Drawn nice and low. Just think she'll take plenty of whack in there now and that. It's at 445.
Good stuff. Anything else for you on Saturday there, Declan?
The 405 at Down Royal, so covering nearly the whole card at Down Royal at the moment. The Ulster Oaks.
More selection down the one you have a Royal Ascot.
Campor for me in that one. She looked really good and won a pretty decent looking Navan Maiden last time. Few in that had really, really good chances. I think she should be around 6-1. And Jessie said that she could be a listed class filly, so should really, really have a good chance in that, I think.
Okie doke. Paying close attention to the post-race trainer comments.
That's
no
it.
lies are told there. Right, let's move on to the Sunday action. A bit of a mixed bag on Sunday. Most people will be sort of taking a bit of R&R after Royal Ascot and maybe looking forward to the GAA. But Tipperary card to keep you entertained.
Yeah, I have 2 for Tipperary. I'm actually doing the spotlights on this race. It's the 3:10, and I really like the look of City Man. Anyone who's been following Dundalk, he won his maiden there over 6 furlongs. He's back to 5 furlongs here. He looked really sharp when he was fitted with the blinkers at the Cur. I think he's a work in progress. Andy Slattery, very well, great trainer, and we're going back to Ben Cohen here. So that's the 3-year-old sprint handicap.
It wouldn't be a massive surprise to me now if he was in quite a few racing post horse trackers after that run at the Cur. Yeah,
exactly. So you read my mind. And then we've got Basic Law, who's just a winning machine. If you could get anything above evens, which I actually think you will, in the 4:15 for Gerlines, he's been well placed to record the hat trick, and I think he could record 4 on the bounce under Colin Keane.
Yeah, that's a pretty rare achievement. What about you, Mark, on Sunday?
Just the one, and I'm pretty confident. I'd be disappointed if Jelinek got beat, or Jenelik get beat in the 450 at Tipperary. William McCreary horse. Just looks a real nice stare for the future. Running in good maiden company, and I just thought there that it's knocking on the door. I'd be disappointed if it got beat. Just putting all the experience to good use.
Good stuff. That is quite a deep race, that 4:15, isn't it? It's like Turnberry Island there as well. Adding to
the 450.
Oh, you're in the 450.
450,
You're in the 450.
yeah, the maiden.
I beg your pardon. You're in the maiden.
Please God, I was panicking there.
Yeah, you worried. Okay, Roman, your selection, that 450?
Oh, Yenalik.
Yenalik.
Killiney backways.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's one for the Arturian playing guys, I'd say. Right, let's move on to our best bets of the weekend then. And, well, looking forward to Royal Ascot on Saturday. So, Mark, we'll start with you. Go on, best 3 bets for the weekend.
I'm going to go in the Chesham Stakes. I like the Godolphin horse, the name Pinatubo. The Lopi Fernandez, dangerous, obviously, reminds me really like Highland Reel, but I think the Charlie Appleby horse will win. Really impressed with how he hit the line at Epsom, even though Brian disagrees, we were chatting earlier on. He'll be one of the stronger ones. As I said to you, Yenalik at Tipperary, I think he'll take all the beating, and Down Royal, Misty Millie.
Go on, Declan.
Massar for me, I'm going to chuck it in there. I think we'll, as I said, we'll end up regretting if we don't. Dazoo's Dart then for the Ulster Derby, and Campor then in the 405.
Good stuff. Go on, Brian.
Okay, my treble for the weekend is Camford Art in the 250 at Down Royal. We'll go Mirage Dancer in the Hardwick, and we've got City Man in the 310 at Tipperary on Sunday.
Good stuff. That's a mixed bag. My best bet of the weekend is Momkin in the jersey. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back again next week with more What's the Word.